From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, February the 23rd, 2024. Israeli media reports that an Israeli delegation headed to Paris today for talks aimed at reaching an agreement with terror group Hamas that would see the release of the hostages who have been held now in Gaza by Hamas for 140 days. Also taking part in the talks, representatives from the United States, Egypt, and Qatar. Fierce fighting continues in Gaza between Israeli troops and Hamas, the IDF updating that dozens of terrorists were eliminated, and the IDF continues to target terror infrastructure. The IDF continues as well to defend its northern border with Lebanon, targeting several positions of Iranian-backed Lebanese-based terror group Hezbollah to remove threats. As we reported to you last night, White House coordinator for the Middle East and North Africa, Brett McGurk, was in Israel yesterday for meetings with officials about efforts to reach an agreement that would see the hostages released, and met with family members of Israeli American hostages last night. And in a press release, the families reiterated the need to reach an agreement that guarantees the hostages' safe and swift return, expressing cautious optimism on the current negotiations. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby was asked yesterday at a press gaggle about McGurk's meetings in the region, including in Israel, to which Kirby responded, "The initial indications we're getting from Brett are these discussions are going well. They are constructive." Kirby saying he is obviously keenly focused on trying to see if we can't cement a hostage deal for an extended pause to get all of those hostages home where they belong and get a reduction in the violence so that we can get more humanitarian assistance. And obviously, Kirby said nothing is done until everything is done, and not everything is done in that regard. But Brett is working really hard on that. Meanwhile, hostage families set up a Shabbat table with empty chairs representing the hostages on a major highway in Tel Aviv today to call attention to their plight. Tel Aviv's Ayalon highway was blocked in one direction for about half an hour until it was reopened by police. Well, just days after the Eurovision rejected calls to ban Israel from the International Song Contest this year, there now seems to be an issue with the song that Israel has chosen to represent it at the competition this May. The Times of Israel reports that the European Broadcasting Union, who approves every song, may have an issue with Israel's song, reportedly claiming it is too political. The song, titled October Rain, reportedly makes some reference to the October 7th Hamas massacre. The Times of Israel said a spokesperson for the Eurovision told them that the EBU is currently in the process of scrutinizing the lyrics of the song, and said that if a song is deemed unacceptable, then a new song could be submitted. Israel's Khan public broadcaster has reportedly said it would not agree to replace the song. Israel's Minister of Culture and Sport, Miki Zohar, called attempts to disqualify the song scandalous. Zohar said the song expresses the feelings of the people and the country these days and is not political. He wrote, "I call on the European Broadcasting Union to continue to act professionally and neutrally and not to let politics affect art." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, February the 23rd. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. At 8:30, it's David Krakauer in concert at 9. Co-directors of the Omni-American Future Project, Aryeh, Tepper, and Greg Thomas, explore stories of Jewish contributions to the history of jazz. At 10, David Harris speaks to international human rights lawyer and Israel advocate Arsen Ostrovsky. At 10:30, a replay from the Hampton Synagogue, followed by a replay from Central. And coming up next, a look at this week's Torah Portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, February the 23rd, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom. Am Yisrael Chai.